One rule: 5 teams. All of them erased before the tournament even kicked off. No match fixing, no doping scandal, no corruption investigation, just a rule, a single, cold, bureaucratic rule. Welcome to Darkside Football. Today we're counting down the 5 nations destroyed by FIFA's most ruthless qualification regulation. And the story gets worse the closer you get to number 1. Here's the rule you need to understand. FIFA mandates that every nation competing in World Cup qualification must be an officially recognized FIFA member, fully paid up, fully compliant, fully registered, miss a fee, fail a registration deadline, get suspended by your own national federation, and just like that, you're out. Your players go home. Your dream dies on a desk in Zurich. And it has happened, more than once. Let's count them down. Number 5. Zimbabwe, 2006 World Cup qualification. Zimbabwe's players were genuinely talented. They'd scraped their way through early rounds. Fans were dreaming. And then, their own federation self-destructed. The Zimbabwe Football Association, FIFA, had been in internal chaos. Officials fighting officials. Money unaccounted for. FIFA had been watching. In 2005, FIFA suspended FIFA entirely. Not the players, the federation. But here's what nobody tells you. When the federation is suspended, the team goes with it. No exceptions. Zimbabwe's footballers, men who'd done nothing wrong, were erased from the 2006 qualification draw overnight. Gone. Number 4. Kenya, 2006. The same World Cup, the same rule, a completely different kind of collapse. Kenya's football federation, Football Kenya Federation, was embroiled in an eligibility crisis. Foreign-based players were cleared to play, then suddenly weren't. Paperwork filed, paperwork rejected. And that's when everything fell apart. FIFA ruled Kenya had fielded ineligible players in completed qualification matches. The results, annulled. The points, gone. Kenya were out, 2 teams. Same year, same rule. But we're just getting started. Number 3. Togo, 2010 World Cup. And this one? This one is darker than the others. January 8th, 2010. Togo's national team bus is traveling through Angola for the Africa Cup of Nations. And then, gunfire. Separatist militants from the Cabinda region opened fire on the convoy. 3 people were killed. Players were wounded. The team was traumatized. Togo's players, understandably, withdrew from the tournament. They went home. They were grieving. They needed time. And then the Confederation of African Football did something that shocked the world. They banned Togo for 2 Africa Cup of Nations cycles because they withdrew, because they went home to bury their dead. The backlash was immediate and global. FIFA eventually intervened, and the ban was overturned. But here's what nobody tells you. The damage to Togo's 2014 World Cup qualification campaign had already been done. The disruption, the trauma, the missing cycles left irreversible scars. Number 2. Eritrea. The team that didn't just get banned, the team that disappeared. Eritrea is one of the most isolated nations on Earth. A dictatorship. One of the worst human rights records globally. And for their football team, playing abroad meant one thing: freedom. Between 2009 and 2012, at least 12 Eritrean players defected during international tournaments. They simply didn't come back. They vanished into asylum systems across Africa and beyond. In 2012, Eritrea withdrew from African Cup of Nations qualification, officially because they couldn't field a proper team. The players had gone. The squad was hollow. FIFA and CAF recorded it as a withdrawal under regulations. Points docked. Banned from subsequent rounds. The rule doesn't care why you left. It just cares that you did. But those players, they escaped a dictatorship through football. They used a sport to find freedom. And the governing bodies punished the country for it, leaving Eritrean football in ruins for years. And that brings us to number 1, The case that makes all the others look minor. The country that was banned before a single ball was kicked. The team that technically never existed, and yet almost made it to a World Cup. Number 1. The case of Grenada. 1974. World Cup qualification. A tiny Caribbean island, a team that pulled off one of the biggest upsets in CONCACAF qualifying history, and then lost it all, not on the pitch. Grenada, population under 100,000 at the time, had no professional league. Their players were farmers, fishermen, teachers, and yet they qualified through CONCACAF's preliminary rounds. The footballing world barely noticed. But here's what nobody tells you. Grenada was not a FIFA member when they entered qualifying. They had applied. They believed they were registered. But the paperwork had not been formally processed. They had played matches, won matches, advanced rounds, all of it, under a membership status that existed in intent, but not in ink. And when it was discovered, FIFA had no choice but to apply the rule. Every result voided, every win stripped. The standings recalculated, Grenada retroactively removed, not just from the upcoming round, from the entire record. A team of fishermen and teachers had climbed a mountain, and then been told the mountain never existed. That is what a rule can do. Not corruption, not violence. A form. Grenada did eventually join FIFA properly. They've competed since. But the 1974 moment, that mountain they climbed, exists only in the memory of the people who were there, not in any official record. Before we close, 2 honorable mentions. Indonesia, 1938 World Cup. They entered as the Dutch East Indies, a colonial territory, using players whose eligibility was later disputed under FIFA governance rules being retroactively tightened. And the case of the merged Yemens, North and South Yemen, both FIFA members, both mid-qualifying when they unified as one nation in 1990. One team disappeared. One was absorbed. The rule didn't have an answer. FIFA had to invent one. So what does this all tell us? It tells us that the rule, the cold, unapologetic, bureaucratic rule, is sometimes more powerful than talent, more powerful than sacrifice, and sometimes more powerful than common sense. And the question that keeps haunting me, how many other teams are out there? Teams that qualified, played, sacrificed, and disappeared into a footnote because of a missed signature, an unpaid fee, a form filed one day too late. If you know one, drop it in the comments, because Darkside Football is always watching, always digging, and the story football doesn't want you to know, we'll find it.